Hello plant community, thanks for tuning into this channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Pam, and for those of you that keep on traveling along my planting journey on a weekly basis, thank you so much for coming back. So really quick, you guys, of course you know we're in the midst of winter, and I've noticed that some of the plants in my collection has refused to give up or admit that it's winter time and that they should go to sleep. So I have a few plants in my collection that I just wanted to provide you guys with updates and just say, hey, how proud I am to have them in my collection, because even though we are in winter season, they are just continuously growing or doing something that I think is pretty cool. So let me just jump right into it. Y'all see this little one, or big one I should say, in the frame. So I'm gonna try to pick it up. This is a philodendron, by the way. And this is my Philodendron angulastratum, and it's of a decent size, and I had cut it to have it bush out a little bit, and I had planned on actually putting the propagations back in this pot, but unfortunately when I did cut it, the propagations was not successful, which is okay, because you know, like I said before, all propagations do not go through well. But in the midst of me doing that, it just activated the growth, and as you can see, it is just, this one is a new growth, and I've noticed that the stem has gotten a little bit thicker, and then up at the top here is just the leaf, and this right here, you guys, you see that? It's like new growth right here. And this right here, by the way, you guys, I just put water in here. It's like a little I put this down, it's heavy. It's like a little tube, and I just put water in the bottom, and it drips down to keep my moss pole from drying out. I may do something else, but for this size moss pole, because it is extremely skinny, it's not as thick as I probably should have done it when I actually put it together, but for right now it does serve the purpose, and it works, so I'm pleased with it. And let me just sit this right over here, make room. Oh, this is one that I wanted to share with you guys. Not too much because of the growth, but I was just surprised that it actually bloomed for me. And this is my Hoya, what's that, Croyana Black. The one I may have just showed you guys this in one of a video that I did, but this is the bloom. I don't know. It's just so small and dainty. It's like white flowers with, I don't know if the camera's picking up on it. I can't see from this, the way the sun is angling on it, but in the middle is yellow center with white flowers, and it just smells, I mean, I really could sniff it all day, guys. It smells heavenly, but I'm really surprised that by it being such a small specimen, you guys, that it did in fact bloom for me. So I'm wondering if maybe this came off of a mature plant possibly, and that's the reason why it bloomed. I really don't know. But you see right here, you guys, where it's missing leaves. It never had, I don't think, any leaves right here, but I was thinking about in the growing season maybe just cutting this off and just putting it into sphagnum to see if it would just grow roots, and then maybe I can create either another plant or just repot it in here to kind of make this Hoya as full as possible. I don't know, the possibilities are endless, but I think I may go ahead and just chop it and put it back. Another one I have is also a baby small plant, and this is my Peperomia ruby cascade. Now, to you guys, you may say, okay, it doesn't look like much, but I have a Peperomia ruby cascade in here that I recently purchased probably a few months ago, hanging in my sunroom. But this right here came from the original plant that my first plant that I had, and unfortunately it had died, and so I was scurrying around trying to save a couple of the, I guess, the leaves, and I was only able to probably get 3 leaves to root, and this came, or is growing from the 3 leaves, and I just think that's pretty cool. I have it sitting on my magnetic strip thing that I have on the side of my refrigerator, where it's getting that bright damp light, and it loves it, and I am just ecstatic at how well it's been growing. It has not stopped growing. And the fact that all of this came from 3 little baby leaves is just really astonishing to me. So I'm really proud that this made a comeback in my collection. Now this Hoya, you guys, is really growing. It's sprouting up. And this is, I'm just going to show it to you. This is my Hoya australis Lisa. And you guys, it really is growing out tremendously, because when I first got it, it was really close to the pot. I mean, all the leaves was like flush with the top of this little makeshift pot that I created. And all of this is practically new growth, and it was only just one stem. And I noticed when I pulled this plant out for you guys that I do have another stem growing right here. It's pretty exciting. It's giving me those beautiful reddish pinkish leaves in the new growth. But I mean, it's just constantly growing. I initially had it sitting across from me where I'm at on my sunroom, and it was getting some subtle bright indirect light, but I moved it over here behind me on my plant stand that's right here, and where it's getting some light coming directly from my fancy light. And ever since I did that, it's just been doing nothing but just shooting out the growth, you guys, and it's just such a beautiful plant. I'm so glad that it's taking off. Yeah, I just didn't know what to expect when I had such a small specimen, but it is really growing fast, and it hasn't stopped growing, so I appreciate it. I have another Hoya too that I wanted to share with you that's just been growing beautifully as well. And this is my Hoya incrassata seedling. And I mean, it is just, guys, I mean, it is just growing non-stop. I mean, the growth is just, it really is endless. Every time I turn around, it seems like it's a new leaf growing somewhere. And I just really love the foliage and how full it looks and compact on this trellis thing that I created. And then I noticed too, right here, you guys, I don't know if the camera will pick it up. You see that? That's the forming of I guess the peduncles, but it's starting to push out the little flowers. And I think it's cool because this is the first time I've actually seen the budding of it to be like the color green. And so I'm hoping that it will fulfill and actually push out and open up flowers. Curious to see what this incrassata flower provides. But even if it doesn't, you guys, like I said, I really admire this plant for its foliage, the fast growth. I've had it for such a short period of time. I have not had this plant for a year yet, and it's just been doing nothing but growing ever since I've had it in my collection. I'm super excited to have it in my collection, and I can't wait. If it happens to open up, I probably will post it on my Instagram account just to show you guys what that blooms looks like. But I'm really excited about this one. Now, my other plant that I'm about to show you guys, I initially brought it a few months back, and all the leaves practically died off of it with the exception of one leaf. And it's a Calathea, of course. Go figure that. But I didn't give up. I had to really figure out where I was going wrong with this plant, and I figured it out. I figured that it needed a little bit more light than what I was giving, considering that I was being heavy-handed with the water. And I think I was watering it a little bit too often, and I should have held back a little bit. But anyway, I figured it out, and because of that, it's rewarding me with what I've been giving it so far. And let me just show you. It's my Calathea orbifolia, and I'm really happy. This really has made a comeback, you guys. And this right here, this leaf right here, that's actually crisp off. This was the leaf, the last leaf. So all this right here is new growth. It got, for some reason, I don't know why, it crisped up right here when it unfurled. I don't know what that came from. But and it's also a new shoot, and you won't be able to see it, I don't think. Or maybe you can, right here. It's another leaf coming out. But this thing, it has been growing non-stop. Once I figured out the proper way to water it and when to water it. Now I do have, now because I did learn that from off this baby plant, I do have another one, because I honestly counted this one out. I just thought it was going to die, but I did put as much effort in it as possible to try to save it. But I do have a replica of this plant in here in my sunroom, and because of the things that I've learned from this one, my other one has been growing and thriving as well. But I was just really appreciating the fact that this plant made a total comeback, considering it was literally down to one leaf. And it just said, hey, you know what? I'm here and I want to live. And I appreciate it. It's beautiful though, isn't it, guys? I mean, I just love it so much. I'm so glad it made a comeback. Okay. To be real careful, you guys. A lot of these plants, I want to say the majority of these plants are not in this sunroom. They're pretty much in my home. So, you know, transporting them in here, you guys, just to show you guys, sometimes can be a little bit tricky, or occupational hazard, so to speak, so it won't be, I don't know, dangerous, somewhat dangerous for the plants. But anyway, I'm rambling about nothing, so let's jump right back into the next one. Now, my next one, you guys, I've showed y'all this plant numerous of times for obvious reasons. It's my Philodendron silver sword, one of my propagations. I couldn't be any prouder of this plant, because this plant actually came from 3 cuttings. And out of the 3, 1 has died, and there's only 2 main leaves left. And it's just been growing non-stop, you guys. It's really thriving, and I couldn't be proud. And I just got to show y'all, it's really picked up momentum in the growth. Look at this, you guys. This came from 3 leaves, and I'm going to show you the original 2 that's left. This one right here, and then this one. So that means out of these 2 leaves right here, this and this, all of this is new growth from that. And I mean, guys, look at that silver tone, undertone hue to it. It's just such a beautiful plant. And I mean, it is just, look at that, vigorously growing. And you know, I'm so glad I chopped it, because oh my gosh, look, guys. And I have it in just hydroponics or whatever, but let's take a look at the root system. Is insane, you guys. Look at that. Insane. Look at that growth. I love it. Healthy roots, but it is actually insane. It's coming out strong out the pot. I'm just going to leave it in here as long as I can. I may actually have to probably find a bigger net pot for this. But I couldn't be more thrilled. Really, I did not know what to expect. When I put those 3 leaves into this, I really did not expect it to blossom as much as it did. And like I said, it's non-stop growing. It just keeps on going. I mean, it has this growth point right here. I don't even know if you can see it, the leaf right here. And these 2 leaves right here are the newest leaves that's unfurled. I mean, it's just... One of y'all said, you know what, it looks like I need to get a room with one of my plants, and I don't know. This might be the one that we got to go and get a hotel room. I don't know, but I love this plant to death. As I do all my plants, actually. My next one, you guys, I'm going to show y'all, will be my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. This plant has made a complete and utter comeback, because it literally was a wet stick, you guys, that I was about to throw in the trash, because I had it sitting in water for so long. I just figured this thing was not going to grow. And unbeknownst to me, the very day that I decided that I was going to just give up on it and trash, it must have sensed it, or whatever the case was, and I started seeing some form of life, and I was so excited. But let me just show you guys, it really deserved. Look at this, you guys. I mean, and it's just, I have 1 stem. It's actually 2 now, but 1. And it's grown past the moss pole, you guys. And I cut it. So that's what I did. It was growing long, you guys, but it was, the internodes was just getting a little bit too wide in between each other. So I kind of cut it tremendously back. And I re-rooted some, and I potted in the bottom, from what y'all can see right here. And it is growing out. So, and I do have a couple of, outside of it was, like I said, it was one stem, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4 more stems that's now shot out from my propagation. So my goal is to, you know, get it to kind of cover the pole. I'm gonna have to add an extension to the top. But guys, I mean, I just love it. I can't believe it. One wet stick, and I had that thing in water for, I mean, months, you guys. Absolutely, at least, I want to say at least 6 months before it finally decided to say, hey, you know what, just before you throw me out, I'm going to just let you know that I'm here and I'm alive. So I'm glad it did. Let me show you the next one. This is my Philodendron Tahiti. I guess, I don't know if this is another one, but guys, it's giving me that jungly vibe that I'm after. Look at that. Can't you come away with me on a tropical island and see nothing but this beautiful foliage swinging in the breeze? So relaxing. But this plant is growing as well. When I first got it, I think it only had 3 leaves, or maybe 2. I think 3 leaves, and 1 died off as it was acclimating to my home. And this lower leaf right here is starting to yellow and die off, but I mean, it happens, you know. But 2 leaves has grown. This is the latest leaf. It hasn't even hardened off yet. It's still soft, and you can also tell by the contrast in color as far as that. And then right here, you guys, I still have another growth point that's coming out. And I want to say it may have been this leaf that came out, but guys, it's just absolutely beautiful. And oh my goodness, I'm just so ecstatic to have like a nice size, it's a nice size specimen, I believe, for it to be in this 4-inch pot. And I just love it. And I just hope it grows vigorously and thrives and get tall. And I mean, couldn't you just imagine just lying in a hammock and swinging as you sip on a Mai Tai, margarita, or something, I don't know, or whatever your favorite beverage is, and just relax in the breeze. Mini vacations, you guys, in these plants. Check it out. Okay, so I have 3 more. I want to show you if I can get this one. This is the rest of them are Philodendrons. This one is really growing. Oh man, this one is really growing. You probably can see a little bit at the top. It's really growing because I did cut it back. It was growing up a stake, but this was another situation where the internodes were a little bit too wide for my personal aesthetics, and so I did cut it. And was I able to? And for some reason, I want to say the propagation was not successful with this one either. But since I did do that, it did force it to grow. And I'm glad I chopped it. You know, cutting stuff sometimes is great. But this is my Philodendron sanctum tenis. I'm going to try to put the spelling of it on the screen, you guys. But, I mean, look at that arrowhead, you guys. Look at it. Beautiful, right? And I mean, oh man, I'm scared I'm gonna not. Give me a second. Stay. Okay. Now, this right here, look at that. This is the latest leaf. It's just so beautiful. And look at this one that's just trying to unfurl. I have another one that's trying to grow. I cut it. Let me show you. See this right here? I actually cut it right here. And all of this shot out. And that's usually how it happens. When you cut, new growth will either appear at the node, or sometimes below the node. But in this case, it shot out directly at the node and gave me all of this new growth, and I'm just loving it. It's outgrown my little moss pole, but I think I'm just gonna, I don't know, I just like it the way that it is right now. And guys, look at those leaves. Can't even fit it in the screen, it's so big. Isn't it beautiful? I mean, absolutely a stunning specimen. Philodendron sanctum martinis. Now, my last two, which I'm extremely proud of, if y'all watch my Acrogenera update, I may have did, I don't know when I actually did it. It had to be a month or so ago. I honestly can't remember, but if you've watched it, or if you haven't watched it, please check it out so y'all can see the comparison and the difference between then and now. And I have two. My first one I'm going to show you when I did an update at the time. I believe this plant did have 2 leaves, but magically this one is really growing. Let me just, and this is, what is this? My Philodendron plowmanii. I think it's the citrus, I'm not sure. But guys, it's made a total comeback. And I'm really happy about this because literally all the leaves, when I first unboxed it, all the leaves fell off. And then it gave me some hope by growing 2 leaves. And now it's given me 3 extra leaves so far. And it's also, you see, it's pregnant, you guys. It's pushing out a little baby bump right there. It's about to push out another leaf. It still has that growing eye thing. I don't know if it's ever going to do something or it's going to be just rooting. I really don't know. I'm leaving it be and let it do what it do. But guys, I mean, I'm just loving the color in the leaves. I mean, such a beautiful specimen, you guys. And I am so glad having this hydroponics. And you know, even though it's growing, the roots have not been crazy on here. I only have just a little bit of roots coming out at the bottom of the pot. But, hey, it's happy, I'm happy. Now, my last one, you guys, I am extremely happy about this plant. This plant really is making a tremendous comeback. I couldn't be prouder. And let me just show it. It's another Philodendron. It's my Philodendron gloriosum. It's making a comeback, you guys. If you watch me with that update, I think I had 2 leaves at the time when I showed you. When I initially unboxed this thing, the leaves were so big it covered my face, but they were all severely damaged till they all just fell off. And literally, you guys, I was left with just this stem. And it had like a little base just like this. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and we'll just see what happens. And it just seemed like as soon as the first leaf emerged, one right after another, I'm saying I'm getting a leaf maybe every few weeks or so. But you know, I'm taking my time with this plant. And I mean, and it seems like each new leaf is getting bigger than the last. And look at that. Oh, I just love it. And the velvetiness feel on the top is just so beautiful. So yeah, so it's giving me 2 extra leaves since we last talked about this plant. And you've probably already seen it. But look guys, this is the new growth. And I'm so excited because just looking at this, it just looks like it's going to be a pretty good size leaf. And I just hope that it keeps on growing like this. Let's take a look at the root system. This is another one that I have in hydroponics. Oh wow. Look at that, guys. Yeah. Very nice root system. What do you think? This is nice. Look at that. Very healthy. And I figured, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So Yeah, this is the last plant, you guys. Drop a comment below. Let me know what plants in your collection has just been defying the laws of growth in the plant community as far as winter time and whether or not if your plants are sleeping or not. I'm curious to know if it's different types of plants or any plants that I may have mentioned that you've noticed in your care has also thrived. Share that. Any plants that I did not cover that you have in your collection that's thriving, you know, I'm curious to know. Just drop a comment. But this pretty much ends the video, you guys. So you want to keep in mind, if you love foliage as much as I do and you love listening to planty things, you know what to do. Subscribe to this channel, guys. Give me big thumbs up because I really do appreciate you guys giving me those thumbs up. I have noticed that it has definitely made an improvement in getting my channel out to newer people. Let's grow this plant community together. I appreciate any and all support you guys can give me. Enjoy your day wherever you are in the world, and until next time, guys, much love. See you later.